Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Deer Corner. Welcome back to the cabin. Got up here late last night. Had to get a fire started. Stopped in at a good friend of mine down the mountain here. And of course he had to show me his nice food plot. Well, it's a heck of a frost out there. And I'm pretty well it nipped his food plot. A little early to get into the food plots right now. But I'm up here and I'm really motivated on managing the land up here for deer. Getting out and looking at the resources I have. See, there's 427 acres of timber. And I'm more into motivating 20-25 acres of them into deer habitat. And what I mean by that is the three resources I look at myself, and that's food, coverage, and water. And managing a habitat and putting together a habitat, this is design. Well, really it's an art. There's a lot of motivation going in here, and really the only way to identify your food, cover, and water is boots on the ground. You have to get out and, like I do, get out and walk it. And as far as coverage goes, I look at what I have out here, what resources I have out here for deer to browse on and to feed on and to graze on this 20-25 acres. And why 20-25 acres out of all of it? Like I said, it's an art. And if you can picture a spoked wheel, and all the spokes run to the center, and that center is where this cabin is. I put it right in the middle of the timber where I don't have no neighbors, but that's me. I don't bother no one bothers me. I can go out on the porch, scope in my rifle, no big deal. But around the cabin, 20-25 acres, I'm wanting to manage that into a deer habitat. And you're only really capable of hunting an acre, maybe 2 acres at a time. But out of this 20-25 acres that I'm building and working with, you got to put boots on the ground. And one thing I go out and look at is what did the deer browse on the most throughout the winter time? What did they chew on? What's chewed down? What's worked over? That's what I'm wanting to picture on for the following year. That's what I'm wanting to grow on, build up, give them more of it. And that goes with coverage. You can walk out in the timber, oh, I got good coverage, I can only see 30 yards. Well, that's not exactly true, because your eyesight's 5-6 feet tall. Of course, you're not really a predator. A predator's eyesight's 2 to 3 feet tall off the ground. So you got to have coverage up to your waist more than up to your head. You got to have that coverage. You got to have native grasses, native plants, briars, roses. There's all sorts of information out there on the internet right now on coverage for plants that you could put out in the timber that's good in the shade and does well in the shade, matter of fact. There's quite a few of them out there. And get them out to give coverage up to your waist. That's what you're wanting to look at. You're wanting to look at the security that the deer have. Because it's kind of funny, if you get out and you're looking, oh, I got good coverage, I can only see 30 yards because of these sprouts of the trees. And if you get down on your knees and look, you can see straight through it. That's not good coverage. That's not security. That's what I look at. That's one of the things I look at, is security and the coverage. And not only that, what they will browse on. I'm not going to put anything out here that the deer won't browse on. So that's one thing on the coverage. And the food is kind of like right now is your coverage. You want to look at, like I said earlier, you want to look at what you're putting out there for coverage and security. You also want to use it as browsing material. And one thing I found is cutting young saplings down so they'll sprout out and give sprouts. I'm going to be doing that while I'm up here. And water. Water is a key thing, especially in the hot summer months and through winter. Hunting season, water is a key thing. But when things green up in the spring, and they'll get 60–70% of their water out of the green plants. But when the green plants aren't there, they need water. So I got 3 watering holes that I'm going to go through while I'm up here, clean them out, make sure they're ready to go. They're there for the deer this summer, and, well, other wildlife, turkey, squirrel, raccoon, they all drink out of them watering holes. And acorns, I'm going to be working on acorns. They're starting to pollinate up here, just getting ready. So I want to get some stuff out on them, on certain acorns, not all of them. I got certain acorn white oaks I'm wanting to get some stuff down on and help them out. But developing and managing your land to create a habitat, it's a design. It's an artwork. And like I say, a fella down the road I stopped in, I believe he jumped the gun on his food plot. Had a real nice start on it, but this morning I got up, made coffee, and looked out the window, and there's a hard frost, and I got a fire going in the fireplace. It's just a little early for getting out and getting a food plot going right now. So I don't have no food plots up here. I'm working on more browsing. I'm giving them more native plants. So that's what I'm looking at. This is me. This is myself. What works for me may not work for you, but the areas that we are developing, or I am developing up here, during hunting season, we don't go through them. We stay out of them. But like I say, boots on the ground is the best way to get out. And your motivation on what you're doing, what you're wanting to design, what species you're wanting to bring in, whether it's turkey, quail, doves, deer, bear. It's your motivation on how you're going to manage the land to succeed into that development. But I just want to bring you along while I'm up here. Things going on the next few days I'm going to be working on before I get planting anything, because it's still too early. Like I said, we had a frost, and I'm wanting to get some things planted, but I'll bring you along when the time comes, and I'm glad you're with me. Leave me a comment. I'll get back with you, and like I say, if you're in the woods, be safe. Rather be safe than sorry, and we'll see you again.